Well, hi there, YouTubers. Jose Quiñones, the CNC dude, on Treasure Day number 5. I know in my last video I said that my next video was going to be about an amazing project, super duper awesome and fun project. But for that project, I'm going to need some space on the garage. So I need to move a few things to my storage space. And that means that I better get done with this part of history here before I bring in the bigger project, because that new project is going to take so much space. So what is Treasure Day number 5? This is probably 2 Treasure Days combined into one. Here is a cool item that I found on eBay a while ago. Maybe 1 or 2 months ago. It's a linear actuator, very similar to the ones that I showed on Treasure Day number 2, I believe, except that this is a smaller version. This is an IAI robo cylinder, and you know, it's very similar to the other ones, just that it's smaller. So of course this could be a Z-axis, or it could be, I don't know, if I find something similar like this, it could be a smaller XY table, so many things. But it has a stepper motor with a chaff encoder in here, so that will be fun to make it work. But, so that you get an idea, I have never done anything with the ones from Treasure Day number 2, the 2 Gigantor IAIs. And literally I'm going to be putting them in storage. And it will be years before I can do anything with them, because I don't have the space to you know, like put them somewhere where they're being used. So they'll go into storage, and hopefully I manage to live 80 years, and someday I'll make use of them. This is a cool little one that I found on eBay for I believe it was $67 or $68 with shipping, because the gentlemen were here in Mesquite, Texas, which is basically 45 minutes away from where I am, so I could have picked them up, but there is usually a lot of traffic going in and out of Mesquite at the time that I can drive, so I decided to get it shipped for 68 bucks. This is a no-brainer. We're talking here that the materials alone far surpass the $68 mark, and this thing is in tremendous condition. I mean, literally, if this had been 200 bucks, it would have still been a good deal. I would not have paid 200 bucks. I mean, definitely for 200 bucks. All I'm saying is it would have been a good deal, but I would have not paid 200 bucks for it. 68, it was impossible for me not to press the buy now button. It's like forces of parallel universes made me move my hand and press the buy now button, okay? So, cool little gadget. But this is just an introduction to the real treasure of the day. Before I go on showing you the treasure of the day, let me open up one of these guys. I don't know if I have shown this before, but just to give you an idea of what is inside and why these guys are so important and so awesome, and why when one of them shows up at a ridiculous price, I cannot say no. Let me show you one from the inside. Alright, so here we have a good example of what you find, or what you can find on these linear actuators. Obviously there's gonna be a base where you're gonna mount whatever it is that you want to actuate, and then there's gonna be a ball screw ball bearing head, I guess what it's called, or whatever. Then obviously the ball screw, linear rails, and the support for everything, a motor, couplers, you know, tensioning concepts or contraptions so that you can eliminate the backlash as much as possible, and stuff like that. And you know, usually the motor is gonna have a chaff encoder, because this is gonna be a servo, right? So we're gonna close the loop on position, and so the chaff encoder, that's what it does. So this is a small one, but they are all fairly similar. And then there is a casting. There is a big casting where everything is bolted together to provide rigidity, right? I mean, obviously you want some rigidity here. But you know, they're all pretty much the same. You're gonna have all of these components, except that they're gonna be bigger, and that's what it is. This is the smallest one I've got, but there are smaller ones. I have 3 of these, and they have a brush DC. But what I'm gonna do here is an example of a project that I'm still in the works. I'm gonna put a stepper, so I basically cut this guy and milled it flat so that I can put something here with a stepper. Most likely the stepper is there's gonna be a plate in here, and the stepper is gonna be outside. Because if I had left it like this, I would have needed to put the stepper. It was very hard to put the stepper here, it wouldn't fit. And I guess I could have milled something here, but even then, it would have been tough to grab the stepper. So I figure I just make this flat and put the stepper here. So that's a work in progress. But these are very nice. They move very softly, and you can basically see there's very little backlash. I imagine there is some, but I think it's very small. So I don't know, for something like a 3D printer, this could be cool. Or even for a small CNC mill. Alright guys, now you know why these trinkets are so awesome. The parts alone are usually worth much more than the cost when you buy them used, or just discard it or scrap or whatever you want to call it. So that's why when I see them at a reasonable price, and when I mean reasonable, I mean ridiculously cheap, that's why I cannot say no. And I am just piling on them. Right now I may have something like probably 6 or 7, and I have done nothing with them, but one day I'll make a bunch of CNC machines with them, and it's gonna be amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have the space to hold the CNC machine, so there's no point on doing anything with them, because I will have to tear it apart. As soon as I finish it, I will have to tear it apart to do something else. And what I'm gonna show you now will definitely prove my point. This thing is so big, I'm gonna have to wheel it in. What the crappity craps! I'm gonna check the monitor. I think it is fitting on the screen, but yes, this gargantuan piece of monstrosity of awesomeness is Treasure Day number 5. Now, you tell me, if you walk into eBay and you see that this piece of awesomeness is being sold for $195 and it is 20 minutes from where you live, are you not gonna press buy now? It's like impossible. Even if I was broke, even if I was facing bankruptcy, I will have to somehow find $195 to buy this beauty. This is not an IAI actuator. Actually, it's like a completely different topology. I think the brand is, somewhere in here it says, Adept. A-D-E-P-T. Adept. But the concept is very similar. I have already taken some of these parts, some of these sections apart, because I just wanted to see it. So let's take a look inside. All right, let's start with the base here. This is where you would attach your whatever it is that you can attach here, and this is the ball screw. And here are the linear ball. The linear rail ball bearings. There is no way you can buy these 3 components by themselves for 100. I mean, just one linear rail, if you buy this new, is gonna be way much more than $195. To have a ball screw and the casting where they are attached for $195, it's a freaking steal. Now, granted that this is not brand new, let me show you something here. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit, and so look at this mess here. Clearly this was stored on a very hot and dry environment. This is like a piece of rubber that is like a stop. So when this thing is going like this, you don't want it to, you know, like bump, because obviously that would be bad for the metal and stuff. So they have like this piece of rubber to cushion the blow, I guess is the word. And as you can see, it is completely destroyed. I mean, this thing has decomposed. It's almost dust at this point in time. So I have no idea how long this was under Texas heat. And you know, I gotta say, on that video where I said that it was hard for me to be in the garage because it was too hot. Some people have commented, "Oh, put an AC unit. Oh, don't be a wimp." This is Texas heat right here. This is no joke, guys. That could be me in a few years if I am a scum bucket and decide to just be in the garage when it's freaking 115 degrees outside. But coming back to this, I've been having a little bit of a hard time moving this. So I'm not certain if there is a. There we go. It's moving now, but it's kind of hard. Granted that this is so big. It's definitely not like the little ones. And I feel like a little, like a cluck, cluck, cluck. So maybe the ball screw is bent. Or something is going on. But, so I imagine for like real projects, it is, you know, like a real industrial project, it is a big no-no. But for the stuff that I'm gonna do, it may be okay. So I'll have to look into that. Let's look at the motor. All right, so this is the motor. It's a 3-phase brushless DC motor, and how do I know? Well, because it has 3 wires. The red, white, and black, those are the 3 phases, and then this is like a ground, just to make sure that if something happens, you don't get electrocuted. And these are the home sensors. Now the fact that we have a ground tells me that most likely this motor is AC, so I don't know, 120 volts. Hard to see. I don't see any kind of part number or anything. But I'm gonna have to figure that out. But that complicates things a little bit, because I would need to make a 3-phase, a high voltage 3-phase driver, which is not a problem because that's literally what I do at work. But I really don't like high voltage. So that's, I don't know what's gonna happen there. Then we have this massive chaff encoder with a ridiculous amount of lines. It's just preposterous how many lines we have in here. So I'm thinking this is a chaff encoder with differential lines. Yet another complication. But you know, for industrial stuff, that's what you will get. That's what you will get. And well, that's it. I mean, basically we have a humongously long rail, almost 4 feet. I don't remember now how much it was in millimeters, but it was a lot. It's like 47 point something inches. So I'm thinking if I strap this guy to another set of 4 inches rails that I have on this direction, I could make an amazing 4x4 table. It would be brutally amazing. So that's something that I can consider at some point in time. But for that, I would need 4x4 feet of space or more, because obviously this thing will be larger than that. So I don't have that today, which means this is gonna go into storage. All right, I took the cover apart, and so here we can see the interface for the belt. You know, this is a very well constructed interface, and you can see there are pockets in the aluminum frame so that you can tense the belt, and of course decrease backlash as much as possible on the pulleys. and also I'm able to move the shaft pretty easily. Now I thought that there was some kind of problem at the end because it was very hard to move, but that was because yesterday night I was here with my friend who helped me take this down from the truck, because this thing is pretty heavy for just one guy. And we were taking apart the other piece. Let me show you. So I took this apart, and then when I noticed that the ball bearing was attached to it, I put it back. But I think it was a little bit misaligned, so it was making hard. Basically, it was making the screw kind of bind. But now it's much better. It's kind of hard to move with your hand, but you know, that's pretty much the point. This is what do you call it? Man, I always forget the term. It's not a transformer. It's a transmission. A transmission. It's basically the equivalent of a transformer in electric engineering. A transformer changes voltage and current, and in mechanical engineering, a transmission changes the ratio between speed and torque. So that is what this is. That's why it's so hard to move it from here, but so easy. Like I'm moving it here with the belt. Man, it's like I have to do no effort at all. And if I go on the motor shaft, it's even less. So that means that on the pulley, the torque is very small, but the speed must be high. Let's just say the torque requirement is small on the pulley, but for that you need high speed. And then because of the ball screw, now you get a lot of torque and smaller speed. That's basically how it would work. Well, friends, this has been treasure day number 5. I should say treasure of the day number 5. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video and learn a little bit about these amazing pieces of equipment. You know, this is a great component. If you get a hold of them in the vicinity, somebody is just discarding them because it's of no use to them for whatever reason, unless they are like completely busted. But if you manage to get them at a reasonable price, definitely something to consider, because pretty much most of the work of aligning ball bearings, tensioning, backlash, ball bearings, linear ball bearings, extrusions, all of that has been taken care of. So now you can actually get to build your CNC machine, which is definitely the goal sometimes. So yeah, so definitely something to consider if you manage to come across some of these guys, and they come in all sizes. You know, I bet there are monstrosities that are bigger than my car, and they come in tiny ones as well. So very versatile. They are super expensive. If you were gonna buy this new, I imagine this is gonna be thousands. I don't know, 5,000-10,000. I have no idea. But it's not gonna be $1,000. I can tell you something like this is not gonna be $1,000 new. So cool stuff. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into my channel, and I'll see you next time. Next time, I promise, I'm gonna start with the super duper awesome project. See you then.